2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Click to Close podcast. My name is Travis Halverson with the one and only Mr. Preston.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
I feel like we just did an episode.
I think we just did.
What did we talk about?
Oh, man.
Video games?
We talked about me. Talked about new season of Halo.
Video
Out
games.
now, Paramount, right?
Yeah. Closing.
Closing. We talked about the closing portion of my life. We talked about your clicking portion.
That was 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes. Oh, my gosh.
That was the first episode.
That was, yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with you, number 1. That's
What
good.
was that number 2?
No, now we're number 2. Number 2 was me talking about my background, which is great.
Now we're number 3.
Now we're number 3, and we're going to talk about...
We're jokes.
No, more jokes. We can talk about...
People just left.
I know. Just went down to 2 viewers.
So we're going to talk about the holes in the ship.
Yeah, the holes in the ship and how to stop your ship from sinking. Regardless of what industry you're in, you definitely have holes in your database.
So let's talk 3.
Okay.
3 main holes.
3 main holes.
Over 20 minutes, so you can't talk through the holes too quickly.
Okay. So hole number 1.
Yes.
Speed delete.
Speed delete.
Speed delete is the first hole in almost every person's database that I've seen. And that is my favorite thing to plug.
So what is the average speed you see?
Average speed to see? I see like...
Before you plug.
Before I plug.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a day.
A day.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
And a lot of times the leaders are shocked.
Yeah. I don't know why they're shocked though.
I don't know why. I don't know why. They're supposed to be doing it in 5 minutes.
You're expecting 1099 people to be there. I mean, I will say though, Chris Snow, man, he has that. He's got that.
Dial.
I was gonna say shit, but stuff. He's got that stuff down.
You already said it. No.
I did already say that.
So you have to inspect
what
you expect.
Hell,
Correct.
We're gonna get all these quotes on a shirt.
Yeah.
So yeah,
with our face, with just your face on it.
with my face on it. Yeah, no, I think honestly though, what it comes down to, that's the first hole to really plug in your database, speed delete. If a new lead is registering in your database and it's not getting a text message and an email within the first 5 minutes, you're already just butchering conversion.
Have you seen the stats?
No. Oh, is it like
the drop off?
It's like 400%.
Dude, it is crazy. Like if you do it within the first 5 minutes compared to 30 minutes, it's like 30 to 1 chance. If you do it in the first, and when I talk about it too, and a lot of the people that I've coached over the years, I tell them, I'm like, well, we don't want to do it right away. We don't want to say, I'm like, the best opportunity you have to sell them is when they're still on the website.
Exactly.
Because if you wait 15 minutes,
they've already forgot about it.
Yeah. I have kids, right? When my kids were little, they could have been throwing paint against the wall or whatever. You call me during that time.
I'm not
very happy.
I'm not talking about real estate.
So you go from, when they're actively searching to interrupting them, right? They could be in a grocery store line or they could be whatever. But if you do it when they're actually searching and on the website, that's the best opportunity you have because they're actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
They're on there looking, and that's when you want to get them. And roughly on average, people are on websites for less than 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just talked to that right before that. We talked to Casey.
And that's good. Like a lot of these sites, especially when you're running ads, people are on the website for maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Because a lot of times they just click on one listing or 2 listings and they pop off.
Well, like I said, my biggest closing came because of speed delete. A lead registered in our database. It was 8:15 at night. You know what I mean? 8:15 at night. From there, now all of a sudden, I am reaching out to that lead at 8:17.
Oh, yeah.
Just because an automatic text message went out, an automatic email went out. He replied to the text message and said he wanted the phone call.
Yeah.
So then at that point, I'm calling the lead, having a conversation. Just because it's 8 o'clock at night for me doesn't mean stop. You know what I mean? Like he's looking at homes.
And a lot of people will respect that, especially in their sales industry. Like if you do it, call within 15 seconds or 30 seconds, you're like, wow, that was fast.
Exactly.
And that happens often.
Yeah, all the time. And that's the crazy part is like you start to look at teams that are like, well, I don't want to send the text right now. You know what I mean? Or even I have people say this, well, if we're sending them text messages on the weekend or we're like having this stuff come up, it's like, don't overthink it. Understand that still today, it's still on average 26 attempts before a lead responds. Like that's just the average. So just understand those first 2 days that are going out, like it's just part of those 26 attempts. You know what I mean? If it's happening on Saturday and Sunday, you might need to get coverage. You know what I mean? You need to get coverage.
And 26 is not phone calls, people. Like it's
attempts.
Attempts. So an email is attempt.
A text is attempt.
Text is an attempt.
A call is an attempt.
Call an attempt.
Yeah,
knocking on the doors an attempt.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend doing that though.
Yeah.
Mail.
Sending them mail.
No, don't send mail.
But it's just funny though, because like I said, it's just the biggest gap that I see. That's my first thing to talk about. Like I run the same stupid 10 days of pain on all just all internet leads, all PPC leads, because all of it doesn't reference anything.
Yeah.
It's just conversation. It's, hey, how do you want to talk to us? It's just ask, do you want to talk via text, via phone, via email? Let me know. Then it's basically like, hey, we tried to call, we didn't get you. When's a better time?
Yeah, it's funny too. Like a call we were on recently, they thought that they were responding a lot faster. They thought the leads were being pulled from agents in a certain amount of time, and they were relying on AI.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what happened?
It stops.
It stops.
It stops.
Breaks.
It really does.
You have to check it. You have to inspect it. I mean, this was, a large team that all of a sudden there's thousands and thousands and thousands of leads that should be back with the ISA team.
Oh, for sure.
And they're sitting with the agents.
Yeah. And the thing is like, even if you have AI reaching out to it, it's cool. It got it to respond. It needs to take it to the finish line. You know what I mean? And even then, though, it's still, if it's nobody's looking at it, like if nobody's watching it, then it's, who's to say,
the machine's running on its own.
Yeah.
Or not running in this situation. And it wasn't even sending messaging. It wasn't based on that. It was supposed to pull them out of the agent's name.
Yep.
And move them back to the ISAs, and they have thousands of thousands. How many $1 million plus or 500,000 plus? It was a pretty obnoxious number.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to have someone watching it and doing that. That's why sometimes, like when it comes down to technology, it's like I don't trust it fully.
Yeah,
I don't trust it to run on itself.
Speed to leads number one.
Speed to leads number one. First, hold a plug.
Rabbit hole.
We
just went down.
Yeah, my bad. So
my
speed to
fault
lead.
too.
Speed to lead number one.
What?
Number two is speed to response.
Okay.
Okay, speed to response.
What does that mean?
Speed to response is how soon you...
I know what it means, but
For the kids at home,
for
speed to response is when a lead messages you, you reply back within 5 minutes. Right?
So think of it like this. You have a girlfriend.
Yep.
So if she sends you a message,
oh yeah,
how quickly does she want a response?
She expects it. For me now, she expects it in a day. But normally, it would be like within 5 minutes.
When you first started dating her.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Like you were waiting for her to come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
you were like looking at your phone, like, should I text her? Should I wait? Should I text her? Should I text her? Should I wait?
That's how I look at every single lead in our database.
So that's funny that you say that, because something I've heard you say often is, the way I look at leads, I'm trying to date every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I look at them like I'm dating them.
It's funny. You're on calls, and I hear your calls a lot, which is pretty cool. But you always end your calls with, I love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's even like a...
Oh, do I say that?
Oh, yeah. It could be like a team leader, like a big dude, and you're like, I love you guys. You're so used to saying it.
I don't know. That's funny, actually.
It's hilarious.
That's actually crazy. No, but it's true, though. I do try to date my leads. You know what I mean? It's like,
so you're trying to date the team leaders, too.
Everybody at this point. You know what I mean? If I'm keeping them in my world, I love them. So that's what I say with the leads that I'm trying to reach out to. If I send a text message to them and they reply to me, as you were saying, though, like best time to talk to someone is when they're on your website now.
Correct.
So best time to talk to someone is when they have
and what happens
their phone in their hand.
What happens if you don't respond in a minute? Where do they go?
Their phone's down. They're going somewhere else.
They're texting somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the crazy part is, like, say, for instance, you've been trying to get a hold of someone for a certain amount of time. They reply to you on your break. They reply to you on their break, obviously. And say, for instance, you don't reply within 5 minutes. They're back to work. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then next thing you know, they're not texting you back for another day.
Or, when you think about that too, like if they're inquiring on your website, say they're searching, and the way we set up websites we'll force registration on pay-per-click visits, and then we don't force it on organic, because the idea is you want the organic people that find you organically, search, they click on it, direct, whatever it is, allow them to search, and then when they inquire, that's gold.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't have speed to response, speed to lead.
Speed to lead, speed to response.
Speed to response, speed to lead. Then they're going somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. That's just the attention span of what we have now. You know what I mean? That's just what it comes down to. You have to be there. You have to be willing to engage. That's the reason why I hate drip campaigns. Like, I hate drip campaigns because of that. Just because you have all these drips going out to these people. If you send it out and it's coming from you and they reply to you and you're not there, or you're on vacation or whatever happens, and it's like...
Or they call you. Your number's in the email.
Yeah, dude.
And they call you and they're like, hey, you just sent me this email, and you're like,
oh, I get so frustrated, man. It's just,
who are you?
I can't, man. That's just annoying. But yeah, that's why I try and tell people drip campaigns don't convert. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to convert leads right now on your phone?
Yeah, I was. It's just, oh man,
always working.
Always trying to, at least.
It's a very not a very good spot for your phone.
Is that not a good
I
spot?
don't know. It's probably going to shrink your.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what.
probably. That's probably why I won't be able to have kids one day because I keep it right there always. Is that true? I feel like that there's probably something that would freak me out.
Yes.
WebMD for sure. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh gosh, you guys are like doctors now. So speed to lead, speed to response are the two holes to plug.
So you're going to have Wi-Fi coming out of there. Your kid's going to be.
Oh my god.
Your kid's going to be born with Wi-Fi.
Listen, hey man, if that's the case, it takes away from the bill. Just run
So
it off
number 2, speed to response.
speed to response. Yep, plug that hole. Okay.
Number 3.
Is the biggest one of them all is accountability.
Okay.
Accountability from leads that you're sending to agents. That's
So
the
this is
biggest one.
leadership.
This is for
accountability.
leadership accountability. Right?
So you shouldn't assume that AI is doing their job,
yes,
or your agents are actually
or your
following.
agents are actually following.
You know, and you see that a lot. Like a lot of people come up with these great plans, these great systems, these great processes. Oh, I built this great system process, and you don't have anybody checking up on it. What happens?
It's just gonna go. It's just gonna keep.
I
going.
hired somebody to do that for me. How does that go?
It doesn't. Like it doesn't. They might not know what they're supposed to be doing, or they might not be doing it right. I mean, like I said, one of the big things we take over with DCM, for instance, just in databases in general, is like we look at those things and see, all right, where are your holes? Right? I can see it with speed to lead. I can see it with speed to response. Agents aren't replying within 5 minutes, right? And then I can see that you've given these agents all these leads that you have paid for, and they're still just in their name not being worked.
Yep.
Like look at it that way. That's why I always get so frustrated when I meet with these team leaders, and I'm always telling them like, hey, like when I come into your database, I look at it from your eyes because I need to show you where your money is going and who's wasting it.
Yeah.
Right? You don't like working with people that waste your money. Like nobody wants to have your money wasted ever. But I feel like people think like with all these different leads, oh, it's just another lead. It's just another one. These database is huge. What's 1 to 2 leads in someone's name that's not being worked for more than 30 days? And it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's an opportunity.
And you get in there and walk through the account with the lead, walk through their CRM, and a lot of times the leaders have no idea where you're at.
Yes.
They're like, where'd you find that report?
Yeah.
Where's that report from? I heard that so many times. So it's one of those things like, with software or with technology a lot, like even phones,
Yeah.
so many people only use like a very small percentage of what it could actually do.
Oh yeah.
And Follow Up Boss is the same way. Like I remember going into inboxes like a year ago and teaching people, they were using CallRail, they were using all these systems. I'm like, why don't you set it up in your inbox? They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, if you set up a phone number with your inbox, then you could choose which agents that it rings.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things in the CRMs that I see people that they don't utilize that because they don't dig in and realize what it can do.
Yep.
And reporting's probably, I don't think many people open it up and look at it. And then they pay for all these other systems to get reporting on a dashboard.
Yep.
When they could find it themselves.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think because like whenever I bring these things up, and it's like, yeah, the dashboard's great for the reporting aspect for some of these CRMs, but you have to look at the things you're trying to find, right? You have to you really have to look inside of the CRM itself. Like that's why, for instance, whenever I bring things up, I always go to like last visit.
Filters.
Filters. You know what I mean? I use the filters to show where the gaps are. Like just even showing that team last visit, new to old, and then showing last communication more than 30 days, and then showing how many times people have visited the website. Like that's another one. You know what I mean? Like starting to show people that, hey, this lead been on your website 2 minutes ago, hasn't been talked to for 4 months, visited your website 194 times.
Yep.
It's like that's a gap, right? That's something you have to close. But then it's even crazier because that's just in there. That's just in pawns.
Yeah.
That's not even in that team's pawn. You know what I mean? That's just in all pawns. Like that's just in all people's databases. Then you start looking at the ones in agents' actual names.
Yeah.
And like stages that they're supposed to be working. Like how should someone that you're in the stage writing offers for go 45 days without some sort of communication? Like what happened to the offers you wrote for them? Like where did that go? I mean, obviously it can come down to laziness on the agent side for not moving the stage, right? That's what it can be. But the thing is if an agent is supposed to be doing those things, like that's just one of those accountability pieces that you have to hold them to. You know what I mean? That's like that loss of money report I like showing people.
Like me sending you gym pictures in the morning.
At 4 a.m. Like, these are waiting for you. I'm just like, give me 2 more hours to wake up, please.
But yeah, I mean, accountability is that's a full episode of all the things you should be doing.
Could go and we could talk about that a lot. But no, I think, like I said, so just to recap,
Number 1,
speed to lead.
speed to lead.
Yep.
Number 2,
Speed to response.
what's the difference?
Speed to lead is how soon you act on the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And speed to response is how soon you reply to a lead once they've responded.
Okay.
And then accountability. Accountability for where your money is going.
Correct.
You're spending all this money on leads. It's going to agents.
You build all these great systems and processes.
You still have to inspect
What you expect.
God, look at that, man. We're gonna. This is gonna be I'm getting it tatted on my
Yeah,
chest.
for sure. I'll get one side inspect, and you could get
Expect.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's great. Well, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank
Third
you.
episode. That was third episode.
Third episode.
Perfect. Do
Where
we
can
do
they
this?
find us?
They can find us on YouTube.
And every
Every place where you can find a podcast,
where you get your podcast.
where you get your podcasts.
Apple,
Apple,
Google,
Google,
Spotify,
Spotify,
everywhere.
everywhere. Smash the like button and the subscribe button.
Correct.
That's still not the outro. That's still not it either.